All right, welcome in everyone to your weekly reading. So we are in the last week of the month. Yes, so, well, this is the last full week. And then, yeah, actually, because the 30th is on Monday. Just checking here. No, the 30th is on, Sunday. Sunday, not Monday. So, yeah, this is the last week of the month. So this is going to be for the week starting the 24th through the 30th. For those of you in the U.S., it is the holiday week of Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate that. I definitely feel, and again, it's not coincidence, I definitely feel this energy of gratitude coming up. And just, I mean, it's a great reason for people to actually sit and pause and be thankful and focus on what they're grateful for, and spend time with the most important thing in this lifetime is our connections. I mean, the connections we create, the health of our connections are going to be the thing when we transition from this lifetime. Those are the things we're going to look back on, and they are going to have the most merit, is the connections. Especially doing a lot of past life regressions and connecting into a lot of my past lives or parallel lives, whatever you want to call it, and doing kind of those life reviews. That is the most important thing. And that's what we carry forward into future experiences, whether it's good or bad, whether it's heavy and dense, whether it's strong and divine and unconditional love. So there's a reason I'm bringing that up. It's for all of us to take stock in that. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I think this is the time of harvest in general, November. So just like looking back on what we've grown, where we're at in our life, what we've grown, what we've cultivated, and what it's brought us to this point. And maybe it's going to be asking for us to make changes. And especially with November, the retrograde energy, that's kind of what it's asked us to do, is stop, pause, review, take stock, really look and get that compass with our intuition of, do I like where I'm at? What needs to change? Maybe I need to make different choices moving forward or have a different plan. And that leads into the astrology for the week. So the two big things for this week, which are pretty big, we have two major energies stationing direct. So they have been retrograde. We have Saturn going direct in Pisces on the 27th, and then we have Mercury going direct on the 29th. So this is going to really shift the mood. Things are going to lighten up. We're going to feel some traction and movement coming back. And this, especially Saturn, so this is a big energy. It's a planet of structure, commitments of time, and karma. So, now we're going to hit a point where we're going to have some clarity to make some clear choices here and decisions, or just knowing how we're going to proceed or move forward. This is also a time, if what you say you do, right? And what we say is tied to Mercury. So with those two energies going direct, it's like we're going to start standing by our word. What we say is our truth, and what we say we're going to move forward on. So, and then we have Mercury, the stationing direct, is going to help, obviously, with any sort of help solidify schedules. It's a better time to travel and less technology glitches. So if you need to do anything with technology, this is a good time. But also communication is going to be easier. Definitely, I feel like this Mercury retrograde, there was a lot of, kind of wrought energy when it came to communication. A lot of trying to understand each other, conflicts in that area. Unclear communication was definitely big. Like, people were communicating stuff and you're like, what is going on? What does that mean? Like, it was all over the place. So, and we're going to finally have maybe the conversations we've been really thinking about. So the last energy here that's going to complete, not till December 10th, but that's Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So that's really going to help the fog lift. That's a big one where it's created a lot of fogginess, a lot of confusion, but we're going to start feeling this lighter energy. So I definitely like that. So let's see here. Just putting a plug in, we got, I'm going to be doing a couple new things for the end of the year here. And I talked about it in the individual zodiac sign reading. So yes, definitely, those are going to be coming out shortly. So watch for those, the December monthly zodiac readings. And I'm going to be doing 2026 yearly forecast readings. And those are also going to come out next month, you know, through the end of the year. So those are going to be exciting. I'm going to be doing extended with those two. And in the extendeds, we're going to actually dive deeper. And I'm going to specifically look into your love and romance for 2026 and also work and career. Okay. And as usual, if you're interested in a personal reading with me, you can book one on my website, which is linked below. And since we are coming up to the holidays, take a look at my Etsy shop. I got some metaphysical jewelry on there. So they can definitely, they're energy tools. Crystals and stones are definitely energy tools that you can use to support you in any area of your life, whether it's healing, wanting to manifest something, protection energy, warding off negativity, enhancing your intuition or channeling abilities, whatever that is, and they are great gifts. All right, let's get going here. So let's start this off and see what's going on this week. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards here. So we have Angel of Balance and Happiness. So I definitely feel, again, these two planets going direct are going to help kind of bring a little bit of harmony back to the instability going on and confusion. And I think this is a week of just, you know, lighter energy, happier energy going on. So I definitely like this. I'm going to pull two more here. Storm warning, interesting, creativity. So we go happy, happy here to storm warning. So I think it's just, there's something about, I feel like it's more of a warning, and it appears that something could, you know, could be a potential impasse here, or like some emotional, right? The tornado represents emotion, some sort of emotional turmoil. But I feel like this is potentially just a warning, and it's going to pass, or it's not going to be as bad as it appears to be. I'm going to read it here. So this card indicates a potential difficulty either in the external world or within yourself in your emotional life. You may have already heard of rumblings of potential problems around you. The caution here is to be conscious, yet not fearful. Consider what's going on and look at the situation with calm clarity. Investigate your options and honor yourself and your intentions. Stand up for yourself and take action on your own behalf. As with all difficulty, even the worst storm passes. Always remember you have the power and the wisdom to handle whatever may come your way. I feel like there's some sort of creative solution here. That's what I'm getting with the creativity card. There's some sort of creative solution to a potential issue or an issue that arises. And that's where I think it's not as bad as it seems, because I think it's just asking for some sort of creative thinking. How do we approach this? How do we navigate this? But I think, you know, again, there's this like, this side has the angel of balance and happiness, and this side, it's like, I think it's going to balance itself out. But it's also asking that you need to approach it in some sort of objective, balanced way and not get pulled into the fray. All right, we got some flyers here. So we have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Swords underneath. Oh, Tower. That could be the storm warning. The Devil. 9 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. But I like this Ace of Cups. And then we're ending with some celebration. So I feel like this is all going to lead up to the Thanksgiving holiday, which is on Thursday. So even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I still feel like the timing here is this through to Thanksgiving here. But this involves some sort of relationship. So this could be love relationship, but there's some sort of conversation here that kind of, maybe there's some information that comes out that's kind of surprising or kind of just blows the lid on a situation here. I think it's going to cause some potential fear and anxiety. Like there's some overthinking this. I think there's potential that well, I shouldn't say potential because this 9 of Swords came out. I definitely think you're going to kind of take this and run with it in your head and kind of overblow the situation or the information coming in. But this could be around somebody juggling too much when it comes to a house, or like personally, there's too much they're like juggling. But I do feel like they're opening up. They're finally like being honest from an emotional place. There's something about the emotions have to come up and come out. But I feel like this is a good thing. This had to come out. I feel like someone's cup is overflowing from an emotional standpoint, and there is definitely anxiety over a certain situation when it comes to a relationship or a house or something personal related here. But this is kind of happening to create some sort of new beginning from an emotional standpoint. So definitely there could be some Tower moments this week. And that to me is the potential storm warning. But again, I feel like it looks worse than it really is. So we have the 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and the Page of Wands. So there is a situation here. There is some difficult emotions going on, some sort of sadness or grief, kind of getting through some sort of situation that maybe there was some sort of loss here. I do feel like there is a lot of confusion from an emotional standpoint of a situation that it like is requiring you to get more like creative with your ideas, or the Page of Wands too is about creativeness, inspiration, you know, like new ideas. It's like we need to start seeing things from a new perspective. And I also think with the retrogrades, these 2 Saturn and Mercury going direct is going to help with this confusion of like, where are we? Where do we stand? Like, what are people feeling here? Like, what do I really want? 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and the Chariot. Yeah, we're we're kind of, this is that energy of the planets going direct. So it's going to help shift where maybe we were in this place of pause, of maybe like stillness, of like we're kind of sitting here, kind of sitting and going through these emotions that we're going through in the situation, more like contemplative, like thinking about like, and maybe there hasn't been much conversation or communication or something here, but I do feel like here's movement, double movement cards, and we're moving forward in a place where what's going to work more for, like, in general for us, like we're looking at things, we need to start balancing and harmonizing things in our lives, and what's going to be more equitable for us, and we need to start moving towards things that are more equitable rather than things that take from us, or like we're putting all this stuff, time or energy or love into something and we're not getting much back from it. Six of Cups, Seven of Swords, and Five of Swords. Oof. Yeah, like this is some heavy mental energy. Like, I'm gonna, excuse my language, but to me, what I'm getting is this is kind of like mind fuckery. Like, we're mind fucking ourselves. We're dealing with people who, you know, this is that unclear energy from all the retrogrades of like communication has been really distorted. You know, we're feeling like we don't know like what's happening. People are, the way they're using their tactics or their communication is definitely creating an energy that's really not good energy here. But I feel like part of it is because there's a lot from the past that's really coming up for people and creating a lot of emotions, triggering a lot of emotions that's creating this reactivity where it's coming out very manipulative, or people aren't speaking their truth, and instead they're reacting in a way that doesn't align with their truth, but it's because of the emotions are really kind of running rampant right now. But really what it's asking is for us to integrate and to face some things from the past, but there's something we need to reconcile here. There's a past that we have to reconcile before we can move forward. But that's what this week's about, is really seeing this now, because it has created a lot of confusion in the recent past. What's the Seven of Cups, Five of Cups? So it is tied to someone specifically. This could be a relationship that you're going through some hard stuff in. There could be some heaviness tied to like figures in your life. This could be like a boss or something like that as well. But what's the Page of Wands? Ten of Wands. It's like we're going from this Ten of Wands to one. So that's the progression of the tarot. So we end at the 10. So it's time to let go of all this that's clogging us. Letting go of too much obligation, responsibility, or baggage, other people's baggage. And now we're going down to the one rod, which is we're only carrying our own. We're done carrying everyone else's baggage. What's the Six of Cups? Ace of Pentacles and the High Priestess. Yeah, this is a huge opportunity this week, though, and we need to really be aware of that. I mean, I feel like from a spiritual standpoint, like people are getting a lot of clarity, aha moments, downloads from, and getting an understanding of the past and getting understanding of how this is creating an opportunity for us. And there's a lot of spiritual energy that is flowing in right now where you're going to get like major intuitive hits, major information. So this is a week to really tap into your intuition to help navigate, especially things that are confusing. Because I think the external world it's showing up in a way that It's like there's some distortion still. We still have Neptune and Pisces in retrograde. So I think there's a lot of deceptive things, not people being deceptive, but things in the external world are not as they appear to be. And that's where the Seven of Swords, Five of Swords is coming up. And this is the same thing that's mirroring out in the collective or like the world stage. So there definitely could be some things coming out where we're seeing that people maybe were like lying about something. Yeah, we definitely were blinded to this. And that's where we need to really hone in on what we're intuitively, what's our truth, and tapping into our wisdom, our higher self, to really see what the truth is. But I do eventually see, like, the Eight of Wands is about something's going to be communicated that's going to help clear the blindfold here. There is someone tied to this Queen of Wands. So again, this could be someone, a female boss, or someone you're connected to here. Oh, wow, look at this, Queen and King of Wands. So this could be a relationship where there's been some distortion and maybe people aren't fully expressing their truth. They're kind of hiding some truth, maybe hiding how they really feel. But I think this is like clearing the air. This is definitely like clearing the air. One more. Yeah. So how this tower moment, I feel, also the storm warning, it's almost like the storm has to come through to clear the air. You are going to overcome this. But I feel like this was a battle of the egos going on. And this could have been just like a foundational theme in this relationship or connection here. But I definitely feel like it's time to get out of the ego. And instead of like this, who's winning, who's getting what they want out of this, I feel like there's some real communication that has to happen where the truth is going to come out. And this is an opportunity to reconcile this pattern or reconcile this underlying kind of hurdle that you've never been able to overcome. It's like a dynamic. It's like a stuck dynamic. But I think, again, this is going to happen in the next couple days, but I think then there's going to be some sort of celebrations and you're going to be able to kind of enjoy the holiday or the weekend. So interesting. All right, so this is for the week ahead. So pay attention, use your intuition, really make sure you're not just reacting and coming up with some truth about a situation. Maybe you're feeling like this person is toxic or that something going on is deceptive, but I don't feel like it's truly coming from a place of they're trying to be deceptive. I just feel like they're struggling. I think a lot of people are struggling from an emotional standpoint, and that's how it's coming out. But I think there's more behind this, and you're going to get some clarity here. All right, everyone, have a good week ahead, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.